All right, everybody, how you doing? It's Captain Jack here, and I am ecstatic to be here with the one and only Joker Raider. And it's always good to see Joker. Even when we don't see Joker, we see Joker, because it is what it is, and this is the Joker of Raider Nation. How you doing, partner? What's good with you? Oh, are you not? Now I hear you. There you go. Now you had your I had your mic muted. I screwed up. What, Mr. Joker? That's a joke on you. So you were listening, and then you're talking. He's like, "Why the hell isn't anything going on? What's going on there, partner?"
Not much, Captain. I'm glad to be here, and I'm honored to be on your show this evening.
And it's been a while. That we had a chance. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember, when was the last time that we saw. I mean, pre-COVID. Back in when it was a real world, shall we say?
That's right.
When was the last time we had a chance to hang out and do some things together?
It's been quite a while. I'm trying to remember if it was the last game in Oakland against the Jaguars. If it was that game or not. Because that was the last game I know I was at.
Okay. Well, then it had to have been that last game. And obviously not a great way to leave Oakland, right, especially when the last game that we see, again, that we know that was a game that we won, and the officials, came out that next week and said, hey, we screwed up, car slid. We should have been running the clock. It was a first down, yada, yada, yada. And right. And obviously that's a theme. That's a theme that we'll be using as well. As we go into different discussions here, that was a game that was won. The last game of the season last year against the Broncos was a win, in my estimation, when they didn't give us the touchdowns that they should have. So, right. I mean, this is what it's like to be a Raiders fan. So let me ask you your history, right, about you and the Raiders and how it came about.
Yeah, man, it's I'm originally from New York, and when I was young, I was more into wrestling. I used to love watching WWF wrestling at the time, and I liked football, played with my friend, pretty much involved in any sport. I never really had a favorite team. And I just remember one day I was sitting there at my friend's house and watching the Jets versus the Los Angeles Raiders at the time. They're playing a divisional round playoff game in LA. And, man, I remember the fact that there was one player that stood out more than others, and it was Lyle Alzado. He was just running around the field crazy. He was mixing it up. He was the closest thing to a wrestler on the football field that I've ever seen. And then I remember watching the game, and there was a lineman for the Jets, Chris Ward, and they were mixing it up all game, and he snatched off his helmet and threw it at him. The helmet goes downfield about 10, 15 yards, and that was it. I was hooked. I saw the Jets uniforms. They were ugly. I saw the Raiders uniforms. There was immediate attraction to that. But as soon as that happened with Alzado, I was hooked. And that was basically it, to be honest with you. The Raiders wound up losing the game. And the Raiders did wind up losing the game, but it was definitely worth the time.
Yeah, actually, that was that was the game that they had it was like the original, I think the original helmet rule, where it was because Lyle threw the helmet against the guy, if I remember right. That was that game.
He swung it, and then he brought it back again. He threw it. He missed him with the helmet, and the helmet just rolled downfield. But yeah, it was pretty intense.
Yeah, and again, we were talking about something that all of the Raider rules, and it would take you hours to discuss all the Raider rules. But the original, like I said, the original helmet rule with Al Zato was, that's where it started. And again,
using it as a weapon. That's right.
Exactly. And I want to make sure here that people know that we're here, because again, you got to listen to Joker Raider, and the fact that you're from New York, you know, that's cool as well. In fact, I share this out to my other page as well. So what brought you? I got to ask, what brought you to go from New York to where your present location is in Tennessee?
Just travel around with work. You know, I worked for a different company, was there for, you know, about 12 years and transferred around with them in various positions, and basically ended up in Tennessee. It's not a bad place to live. The cost of living is great. You know, it's the weather, you know, it's not as bad in the summertime, but it's definitely not as bad in the winter as it is in New York. So, I mean, overall, I was kind of happy with moving down here. And it seems to be a theme, because I met a few people from all over the country that actually end up here. My neighbor is somebody that everybody's probably familiar with. If you're a Raider fan, you're familiar with Skull Lady and B-Row, and they both live about 2 minutes down the road. We have dinner probably once or twice a week. So it's great to have them here. You know, and I got, you know, Bam from Bam Raider from Music City, the Raider Club up there. He lives in Clarksville. So actually, when we got together this past weekend to watch the game, the Chiefs game Sunday night, Bam and his wife were there over at Skull Lady and B-Row's house, and we all got together. It was great, man. We have a good time. So we have our own little nucleus of Raider fans here with each other, and they're pretty good people, man. You can't beat it.
Yeah, in fact, Hollywood says for me to tell you hello, and Squid said that you and your wife are awesome. So I definitely wanted to make sure that he got that out to you. And again, I mean, I'm trying to even remember. I think the first time that we met personally, and I know this is kind of late in the game, we might have met before that, but I remember a very good conversation I had with you was over at the Raider Nation Explosion prior to the season. And I think that we had corresponded before, but it was one of those things where I got a chance to really talk with you. And again, there's nothing better than seeing somebody live and getting a chance to talk with them and sharing some of the insights that we have as folks that dress. And again, I don't wear a costume. Joker doesn't wear a costume. I wear my garb. I wear my uniform. He might wear his accoutrement. I even think that if you say it the French way, it sounds a lot better as well.
Yeah, I do remember that. It was a very good conversation that we had. I do remember the experience, you know, just being able to take some time. It's funny because even when we actually sat next to each other at the Jaguars game a few years ago in the end zone in Jacksonville.
Yes!
And we had a great time the whole game. Little disturbances here and there with a couple of Jaguar fans, but nothing to write home about. But really personal conversation we had was at the Explosion, definitely.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, I actually myself and the plus one, we were sitting in the first row, and there was some female, and I'll call them females at this point because I don't want to throw any nasty words out there. That were given us the business, and because we had these wonderful seats. And, you know, they were pissed off that their season ticket holders sold the seats to us, and they did everything that they could to obscure our views and to push us out and all these other things. And it almost came to fisticuffs, and they tried to have me thrown out of the game. All I did was I told the cop that was in front of me, I said, hey, I showed him my ID. I showed them my security officer's license. I showed them I was not drinking, again, which is one of the reasons why I never drink when I'm in as my persona, because no matter what, you're wrong. If you're drinking, you're wrong. And that's so we went back, and then we went back at halftime, get something to eat, and then right before the end of the third quarter, we went back to our seats. And you know what? Sugar would not melt in the mouth of the ladies that were giving us the. I mean, you could have, and they were taking pictures, and it's like, oh, it's so nice of you. We finally met you. It was amazing. I'm sure that the cops had a wonderful conversation with them because they were wrong and they were drunk and they were belligerent. And I tell you, that's why I said, folks, if you're going to be out there, make sure that you have your head about you, because again, as a Raiders fan, you're going to go with stereotypes, and you're wrong. Right. Even though you're right. That you're wrong with that. So again, thank you for that. I want to say thanks to everybody that's here. We finally got a chance to come in. Thor Helm, great to see you as well. Anna Diaz, Asylum's in the house, and Jared, our Steller fan. Really good people. Eddie Rice, Fast Eddie. Actually, Fast Eddie's the guy on my other stuff that does the Autumn Wind. A great musician. So if you listen to the Autumn Wind on my other things, you'll know him. Raider Squid is here, and Hollywood, as you know, is here. Rob Haspels, the Viking fan, is here. Keegan Mathewson, thank you for being here as well. Of course, Raider Squid, and the one and only Edward Winchell, because if I'm doing a broadcast and Edward Winchell isn't here, then I probably have to call the cops to make sure that Edward's okay, because it's not a broadcast without Edward Winchell. But again, I thank you, because again, I didn't remember that we had met at that game. So I tell you, it was a good game at the end, obviously with the victory as well. So you had the beginnings. You went to Tennessee. And how did you and where did you get the inspiration to be Joker Raider?
I'll be honest with you. I dressed up the first time was at a Tennessee game. It was probably about 11 years ago. And the first thing I dressed up was as Darth Maul. I had a Darth Maul outfit. I picked it out. One of my favorite Star Wars characters. And shaved my head. I glued the horns to my head, did the paint job, and it looked fantastic. And I went to the game. I was nervous the first time dressing up, and I always wanted to do it. And so I did that. Went to the game, had a great time. Had a great time in costume and character. But the only problem was the time it took to shave my head, to glue the horns, and everything that went into it was a little too much. The following year, I believe it was, we're allowed to dress up for Halloween at work. So I picked out a costume, and I actually dressed like the Joker, like the regular Joker. It was my favorite character. I identified with him perfectly. And so I dressed up as the Joker, and I was talking to my buddy who went to the game with me. He was actually at the Jacksonville game with me at the time. I told him, I said, man, all I got to do is make it black and silver and black or white. And there you go. I said, this is so easy because it's fast, it's easy. I can't really mess it up. If I do mess it up, the better it looks. And it was just developing, that character. And I think it's a reflection of me and my personality. That's why it's a little bit more, it's more meaningful than, than just picking out an ordinary character. I can identify with the character. I actually feel like I share certain little personality traits with him at times. And, it was from then on, that was it. But it started off as the regular Joker.
Yeah. But you know what? And as you said it, in order to be a persona who you dress as, there's got to be something to it that is personal to you to make it work. The fact that you identified with the Joker, and how, and with your the mask, and who you are a different person underneath the mask, or there's an outward flow that might be different from the real you. And again, me being a salty sailor and a pirate, that one's easy for me. But that's what you got to find something that's in you,
right?
To make sure that it's up for you. So, and again, and like I said, I see this this is why I love doing this, because again, I forgot that we met at the Jacksonville game, and it's like, wow, man, the things that you bring about. And again, a great victory for the Raiders in 2016, because that was the season that we were firing on all cylinders.
That's right.
But what are your feelings about the Raiders with the transition from Oakland? Again, you said that we saw each other in Oakland for the last game to the Vegas. What's your big takeaways on this season so far?
It's really hard to tell. I went to the home opener this year and had a great time at Tommy Rockers with the homies. That was a great event in itself, but it didn't really give you the same feel of what it's like to be in Oakland. When it comes down to it, Oakland will never be duplicated. Whatever happened in Oakland was special. I just feel grateful that I was actually able to experience personally, and I think that anybody that actually experienced the atmosphere in Oakland, they should savor that. It's something they should always remember. It's something that they're going to tell their kids, their grandkids, and say, man, let me tell you, there was nothing like going to the game at the Coliseum. It's sad, to a certain, point. It's a piece of history, nostalgia, but I cannot undersell the fact that the new stadium in Las Vegas is absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to get inside to watch actual game in there. I think that the organization did a fantastic job as far as creating. It's a different atmosphere. It's never going to be the same. It's maybe a little bit more glitzier because, after all, it is Vegas. But it's really tough to really say anything because we never really experienced the game. We'll know more when we get inside and we're actually screaming our brains out for our team. I think that's going to be the real telltale sign. Right now, it's just the fact that it's a team on TV that plays in Vegas for a lot of people. Right
now, and again, I can't wait to get inside. I can't wait to basically get out of my room. And I know that both of us were going to be going to Atlanta next week. I'm going to hold off on that because I'm going to hold off on the Atlanta discussion for a little bit to get some background as well. But the immediate game that comes to mind, okay, is that the game that we had this past Sunday, which was it was a gut punch loss. But in my estimation, I know what my feelings are about it. Let me hear what yours are, and then I'll pop in with mine as well.
Well, exactly. I mean, to be honest with you, if you're a football fan, it was an awesome game to watch. It was a great game to watch. It was very entertaining from the beginning to the end. There was a lot of excitement for it. It actually gave you the feel that there was people there. I know when I was watching the game and the people that I was with, it was the atmosphere, in the house that we were watching the game with B-Row and Skull Lady and them. We had a great time, and it was a very entertaining game. However, I mean, you play to win. It's all about W's and getting the victory. So it kind of leaves a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth that we lost a game like that was so close, that was in reach. It was well played by the Raiders. Even their defense wasn't, considering the circumstances, up into that last minute and 53 seconds, or minute 25 seconds of the game that it took them to score a touchdown. But it was pretty well played. But it was a tough loss. But I think, in my opinion, there's no such thing as a moral victory. I don't think it's a moral victory. I think there's more of lessons learned. I think, we learned a lot about them. And I think the whole league, not just them, I think the whole league is put on notice and learned a lot about the Raiders. I think a lot of people saw their first game with the win as being a bit of a fluke, possibly. Maybe they figured that Kansas City had an off day and the Raiders just, they played well enough to win. But I think the second game, I think that we gained a lot of people's respect. Kansas City said it themselves, their players, that we gained their respect. I think around the league we did. That being said, all that means nothing if we do not come out and play and beat the hell out of the Falcons. The Falcons are a team that has been ripe for the picking almost every game they played. They haven't shown up and played a good game at all, I don't think, the whole season. They may have won a couple of games, but they didn't play well the whole season. we need to come and make this is more of a statement game for us, I think, than it is against the Chiefs.
Okay, and again, let's not go too far, because I want to say some things about the last game as well, and I'm going to give you guys some things that they're taken off of my cell phone, because again, I just had that bitter taste in my mouth knowing that the Raiders had the game in hand, that you would see shots of Mahomes on the sideline, and he wasn't as I'm not sure if the correct term was effusive, but where he was just very belligerently, his normal self. He wasn't that way for the most part for the game. And because you can see on the sidelines with the Chiefs that they know that we were giving them shots. It was like, the ever-present, 70s. And I'm obviously dating myself. The 70s heavyweight matches, Frazier and Ali and Holmes and all those guys, they just beat the hell out of each other. But there was shots coming from both sides, and they were ready, knowing that there was our shot. They got that one score to get ahead, and of course, the Raiders go down and get their score. But I looked at the clock and I was like, man, it's just a bit too much time, knowing that Kansas City had a couple timeouts. And knowing this as well, I want to share with you something that my very good friends who are Kansas City fans, they shared with me on my cell phone. And this guy is so he's so Kansas City red. It's gaggable, but in a good way. Good guy, but he's all about Missouri and college in Kansas City. And he said, and this is a quote, "What a game by both teams, just like the first one. Don't want to face you guys in the playoffs. Gruden is the only coach to figure us out. F ball control. We'll run with you. The rivalry is back and more fun than ever." And then, of course, he goes, "Go Chiefs." But he said, "It was fun like the first one, a nail-biter. Cars on fire. Abram brings that Raider attitude that makes me hate them." But we have to ask the old things where, Abram giveth and Abram taketh away. But again, he is, for the most part, he's a rookie. So I'll give it that. So fun like the old days. And this one was a personal one to me. And I know Jay, that's me, loves my boy Kelsey. And again, seeing Travis Kelsey alone for the winning score, I wanted to kick something, but because I'm behind my desk, I would basically kick something hard and break my foot. So I didn't do it. And this is the final one. Can you imagine us, being the Chiefs, and the Raiders in the AFC Championship? I am off that game and day after if we both make it, and that's for sure. And another person that was my boy KC Robb, who's been on the show, said this to me. Kelsey said this is the toughest Raider team he's played since he's been in the league. And I think that those comments, and these are from Kansas City fans, tried blue, but tried red Kansas City fans. They know what they had and what the body shots that they took, and we're getting the respect around the league. When you have somebody that is like, and I can't stand him, and I'll call him Colin Cowturd, who at the beginning of the season, I think said that the Raiders would be 4-12 or 5-11 at best.
4-12.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now after the game, he's stating, that the rivalry is back and the silver and black are back and all the things that go with it. That is awesome. But again, because he's a pundit, it's one of those things where it's like, get off our jocks, man. Get off our jocks. We want the real people to be honest. Go ahead there, Joe.
Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. As far as Mahomes, when you brought that up, he wasn't his giddy little self, joking around, laughing, smiling. He looked concerned, like he actually paid attention to the game. Most of the games, if you watch Mahomes on the sideline, He's laughing, he's joking. It's as if he's just like, oh, we go back in yet or whatever. He doesn't even realize what the score is of the game. He just goes and plays. He was paying attention this game. He was actually, you should see the concern that he's actually going to have to watch this game and see what's going on and keep up with the flow of the game and take it a little bit more serious than normal, because it was a game that was, like you said, it was put on him a little bit more than what they expected it to be. When it comes to somebody like Cowter, that called him the same thing. I can't stand the guy. He's a flip flopper. He's just whatever, you know. He's whatever's, when the sun's out, he wants to get out, you know. And he's been dogging the Raiders for years. He's been kicking us when we're down. One second he loves you, one second he hates you. Back in 2016, he was loving Carr, talking about how he's the MVP of the league and he's going to do this, that, and the other thing. And then, you know, any other chance he gets, he's going to kick us. And yeah, right, he did. He said we're going to be 4-12 this season. And now that we're doing better than anticipated, all of a sudden he wants to show interest. You know, something like that. I can't respect the guy because of the fact he doesn't stick to it. If you say we suck, then say we suck all the way through. Stick to your guns, because guess what? He's going to be the same guy. If we lose these games, we're 6-4 now. We were 6-4 last year. If we end up 8-8, he's going to be the first one to kick us when we're down. He's not going to sit there and say there's been improvements. They showed some fight. He's never going to say anything that's positive unless it meets his agenda for what he's doing. So I take everything he says with a grain of salt.
Yeah. And as well, and I need to get the word out. I want to say, first off, I want to say thanks to Ed Winchell for the basically the super chat tip. I want to make sure that folks know that if you contribute $4.99 and above on any of my live broadcasts, boy, that I almost that's a Freudian slip. Broadcasts $4.99 and above with the super chat and super stickers, you will be given one entry for a prize pack in the future. And I'm thinking about how I'm going to do this, whether it's going to be it's going to be a cumulative thing, but there's going to be a cumulative for like a certain amount, and then we're going to have things as well about, like, because I got some minis. I got too many minis, and it's like, and not that that's a bad thing, but I will have mini helmets to give away. I think I got to find it. One more Marcus Allen helmet, and that's a large one, just like I gave away the first time. Yeah. Even Keegan said broad crap. So there's going to be other things. I have a Raider box, a very high value collector's edition that's hopefully coming in the mail. I don't want to jinx it, but it was sent in the mail yesterday. So when there's things like this, and of course, and I want to show it as well, the Fred Biletnikoff picture. This is another one, and I gave one of these away earlier when I was doing my run up to get to 1,000 subscribers. I have this one again. So again, we will be giving these things away. So anytime that you contribute via the super chat or super stickers, $4.99 and up. $4.99 gets you one, and then of course you do 10. That would be two. So I just wanted to do that for the thank Ed Winchell for doing that. And yeah, you can buy them, but no, I don't want you to buy them, Asylum. I want somebody to win them. That's why I'm going to be giving them away. So again, I appreciate you letting me do my commercial plug. And since I did my commercial plug, I'm going to let folks know that if you're not paying attention, both Joker and I are wearing not quite the same hat, but definitely same as an awesome brand, JR60 brands. And I want you to go ahead and give your commercial on that, because again, I don't know if you saw the last show, but I think I had on my my JR60 one T-shirt that I had, and of course I was wearing the hat as well. Great stuff, and I'm not just saying this to blow smoke up Joker's ass, because it's good stuff, good quality stuff, great quality hat. I mean, these are the what I can't remember the name. The not
Zephyr. Zephyr hat.
I knew it was a Z because I had the Zubas in mind, but it was wrong. Zephyr hats, great material on all that you have, and the patches and all the other things like that. So again, if you're not buying from JR60, you know, first off, hook a brother up because it's quality material and it's from a Raider fan that you can get your stuff from. Go ahead and tell all about the JR60 brands there, Joker.
Yeah, man. I mean, you pretty much said it all, but yeah, it's something I'm really proud of. I work with on my wife. It's a family-owned business. And the biggest thing is it's for, like you said, it's from the fans for the fans. You know, quality is the number one thing. It's not about making a buck. I'm not looking to get rich off it. I'm just trying to put quality merchandise out there for fellow fans. I'm tired of going to Fanatics. I was tired of going to, you know, NFL shops, Raider Image, and you get the same cookie cutter shirt or the same cookie cutter hat, or you get something that everybody is out there. 500,000 shirts are out there, or half a million hats are out there from whoever. So I really wanted to come out with something that would be unique, something that customers or fans could actually, you know, be proud to wear, something that relates to the Raiders as a fan base, not the team so much, but as the fan base. It's about the team is what brings us together, but as far as us being one nation, there's only one nation. It's Raider Nation. That's all it is. As far as the hat you're wearing, that was the first hat from the Black Label that dropped in July. The hat I'm wearing is actually the Mexico hat for the Heritage collection. I'm actually making this year's a T-shirt that matches with it. I just finished the German Heritage collection T-shirt. There's going to be a shirt for Canada, for Sweden, for Australia, for UK. This is going to go global. Raider Nation is global. This is a global brand. JR60 Brands is global. So it's something that's really important to me that the fans actually get something that's quality. These T-shirts are made by Next Level. Next Level Apparel makes one of the highest quality T-shirts. They don't shrink. They don't draw up. They keep their shape. So they're actually a shirt. When you buy it, it's fit. It's not as far as it's not going to worry about you have to buy an extra large if you're a large because it's going to draw up. So, you know, it was more important to develop something a little bit unique. And I actually got a couple of other things here. You might have seen this shirt here. You know, this is the packaging comes in. I try to make it as professional as possible. Let everybody know that this is it's actually some care going into it. So this is the shirt that B-Roll and myself wearing. I know it was worn actually in Arizona at their TBH. This is the FUKC shirt. So fuck Kansas City right there. That's the Kansas City shirt right there that we had come out. Maybe perfect for the playoffs. Another shirt I got, and I know this one's going to be dear and close to your heart there, Jack. The Salute the Service shirt.
Okay, I was putting your information up, so I had to get away from the screen. I'm sorry there, and go ahead. I'm sorry. I wanted to make sure that people knew, man. So go ahead. Show me that Salute the Service shirt again.
That's the Salute the Service shirt. It got actually it has the flag on the right shoulder where it's supposed to be, black with the Vegas gold outline. That's actually the name of the vinyl that I use. It's called Vegas Gold. And if you see right up here on the left side on the chest, that actually, if you go on the site, you get the opportunity to pick from the 5 branches, whether it's Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, or Coast Guard. And you actually get to personalize this to whatever branch you were in. You could personalize this shirt for you. And this is something that's given back to, you see on the shoulder right here, the flag, where it says, if you can see that, Salute the Service. Right there.
Yeah, that's sharp.
So
I'm glad you said that because I was going to say, it's like, man, can't you make it more Navy? And then you said you can personalize it because you know I'm going to have a Navy chief with all the good things on it. That for sure. And
so there's a specific. You choose the drop down. You choose Navy, and it's going to have the Navy underneath, and it's going to have the anchor right there. So that, and then finally the Salute the Service hoodie.
Oh, that's awesome.
Is right there. So that's pretty nice right there, and it's an original design that I did with the 5 stars over the One Nation symbol with the chevron logo underneath. Definitely want to pay tribute to the troops. And you know, one of the things that you were very interested in was also the Unity line that I had come out with, the patches, t-shirts, patches, pins. And, you know, that's something that's really, really important to me. One of the biggest things that I try to get involved with is more community. I'm out there. I'm meeting people. I'm going to schools. I stay active in my community. And whenever I travel, I try to be as active as possible in the community I'm in. And it's about bringing people together. Raider Nation's a melting pot. We're the most diverse fan base on the planet. I mean, you got everybody from all walks of life, all colors, all nationalities, all religions come together. And the one thing that my wife and I wanted to, we wanted to make a difference. And if anybody doesn't know, my wife is African American. So we also have 3 children who are biracial. And it's tough with everything going on in this world today to have some tough conversations with your children who may not look like the people that are involved in a lot of these controversies. So they don't know where they stand in society. They hear Black Lives Matter and they're like, well, what about us? We're also white. Then they hear white people saying all lives matter. And to me, it's you know, that's another touchy subject. And these are things that you have to try to explain to your children. You know, we wanted to do something to make a difference. So we started the JR60 Brands One Nation Unity Scholarship Fund. So a percentage of all the sales from the company will go towards a scholarship for a graduating senior in 2021 and help them get off on the right foot to start their next level of their life. You know, we want to be something that's a positive influence, and I don't think there's a better way to be a positive influence in our youth than giving them an opportunity with their education. So, you know, that's something that's really, really important to us also.
All right. Well, again, and I applaud you, and obviously, I don't know if you can read the comments, but first off, Raider at China is like saying, "Oh yeah, you can't see the comments." Good.
No, I can't. No, I can't see.
Oh, okay. Well, first off, Keegan says that the material for the shirt is great for working out. It has a good feel to it. So, and again, I can attest to that. The shirts are awesome, and obviously Raider at China, and again, China, your birthday was the other day. So belated happy birthday for the show. I hope you had a good birthday, and I hope you got some money so you can go out and buy a lot of JR60 stuff. So there you go. See, it's mutually beneficial. Her good having a great birthday and then throwing it your way as well. So, and trust me, you won't regret anything that you buy. Everything that I bought from JR60 is wonderful. And no, he did not pay me for that, because if it sucked, I'd say, you know what, Joker, that sucks. But no, it doesn't. Everything
I don't think I'd be here. I don't think I'd be here.
You wouldn't be here. So again, I want to make sure that everybody knows that. So positives there. Now you're gonna have to wait a couple seconds there, Joker, because I have to kind of like wax poetic, because we got a game this weekend in Atlanta. Oh, your birthday's today. Okay, so I knew it was around. I thought it was yesterday. Happy birthday, China. I'm not going to sing because I don't want to break anybody's eardrum. So happy birthday to Miss China. And I know I posted on I posted on your Facebook, so I know you got that. I just thought it's just been such a long day, so I apologize. But again, going back to what we got, first off, everybody have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Be sure to, in this environment, you know, stay tight knit, be protective. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, but use your head and do it as you can to stay safe. In fact, I was not going to Atlanta because of the precautions with COVID and my work, so that's the only reason why I'm not there. I know that things came up for Joker, and unfortunately Joker won't be there. But again, for those that are going to Atlanta, have a good game, a fantastic win, but stay safe and do all the precautionary things. But let's talk about Atlanta. Folks, I'm going to start with a down thing. This is a bummer. This is your first bummer of the day, okay? We haven't beaten Atlanta in 20 years. Let me say that again. We haven't beaten the Falcons in 20 years. In fact, I'm going to give you quite a bit on the history of that. In fact, we've lost the last 4 games. The last time that we beat Atlanta was a certain coach by the name of John Gruden. So John Gruden's the last Raider coach to beat Atlanta, and John Gruden will still have that when he wins this weekend. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. He beat Dan Reeves. The Raiders were 10-2 at the time. Reeves was 3-10. The Raiders quarterback.
Jack, before you mention that,
yeah,
I just thought of something. Let's not give away who the quarterback was. The first caller that can identify who the caller was will get a $25 gift card from JR60 Brands. So the first person to identify who was the quarterback, who comment who is the quarterback, the first person will get a $25 gift card to JR60 Brands.
There you go. The first person to identify who the last quarterback to beat the Falcons were, as a Raider, the last Raiders quarterback to beat the Falcons gets a $25. I know. Can I get it? Can I get a $25? You got to comment. First person to comment, the last Raiders quarterback to beat the Falcons. I know you guys can hear me. I know the sound's good.
People are Googling it. They got to Google it.
Come on, man. You should know that already. Ed Winchell, no, you are wrong. Ed Winchell said Gannon. And Keegan Matheson is also wrong. No, it is not. It is not Rich Gannon. Come on.
We'll just leave it up.
It's also wrong. You said Rich Gannon.
We'll leave it up there. We could just move on and we'll see who was the first person.
Yeah.
To go ahead and do that.
Hollywood says Hostetler. Nope, that's not right. Raiderette China says Matt Schaub. No, but we'll see him on the sidelines. He's on the Falcons. Colin, we got a winner. Keegan Mathewson.
Congratulations, Keegan.
Jeff George is the correct response. And I want to if you guys don't remember, okay, Jeff George was obviously Gruden's first quarterback because the next year he traded him in for Rich Gannon. And when Jeff George beat Atlanta in Atlanta, by the way, he went around. He went around the stadium in a what do you call it? What would we say it was a what's the word would you use there, Joker?
What's that now?
What word would you use for Jeff George going around the stadium in Atlanta?
Oh, his victory lap?
There you go. Victory lap.
A victory lap?
Kind of like the words of the day. Okay? When people were pissy about our quote unquote victory lap, it was the bus driver trying to get the hell out of the stadium in Kansas City, but I digress. So Keegan Mathewson, make sure Keegan, I make sure you send me your contact information.
I already got it. I'm sending him the gift card. I'm working on the gift card now.
Oh, okay. Well, Keegan says he wants
give it to China.
Give it to China. Well, there you go.
Right.
So there's your birthday present, China. And hello to you as well, Kelly Farley. Thank you for being here. So again, Jeff George did a victory lap as the Raiders quarterback. And so China gets $25, which is a good start for some of the items. That's a good. that's a good start on some things.
She could she could email me at jr60brands@gmail.com. Email her information. I'll make sure it happens tonight. I'll have it out to you tonight, actually, after the show.
China, did you get that? Now, what is it again there? And I'll put it in the comments section there.
It's jr60brands@gmail.com.
Okay. Hopefully I didn't screw that up. jr60brands@gmail.com. Okay, so there you go, China. Make sure that you said, hey, this is right. And by the way, folks, if there's a bunch of Raider at China saying that you're Raider at China, Joker will get with me because I know China and I will get her information. So don't try to get away. Don't grab her birthday gift. Gosh darn it, man. That's awesome. So there you are. But again, Jeff George did a victory lap, and thank you again, Keegan, for a lot of people saying Keegan, thanks for that as well. And again, that was the last time that the Raiders beat the Falcons. So, and it's been a game of streaks, okay? And that was in Atlanta, by the way. They beat them in Atlanta in '97. Oakland lost the first game. I think you might remember a quarterback by the name of LaMonica. Okay, LaMonica was the quarterback that game, and he played against a guy by the name of Bob Berry. I never heard of him either, but I did know the coach, Norm Van Brocklin, and I did know the coach of the Raiders was some guy by the name of Madden. That was in 1971. But then the Oakland/Los Angeles Raiders won the next four by 3, 10, and upwards of 31 points. And that was by both Stabler and Plunkett and Mark Wilson. And they played Steve Barkowski for several of those games. And then David Archer, who, again, I remembered the name, but only because, I'm a geek like that. Then after the Raiders had won those four, then Atlanta won the next two. But they were close games by 6 and 4 points. Steve Berline and Jay Schrader were the quarterbacks then, and they played the quarterback for the Falcons was the same, and Chris Miller. And those were in 88 and 91. And Shanahan was our coach back then, and Art Shell the second time. Marion Campbell was the Falcons coach the first time, and Jerry Glanville, everybody knows about Jerry Glanville. Remember, NFL means not for long. If you're going to be making those bad calls as an official, I love Jerry Glanville. I still think he even when he was the coach in the AAF, I think he was still leaving tickets for Elvis, up there as well. I love Jerry Glanville. The LA and Oakland, we won the next three. Hostetler and George, playing. But remember, Jeff George also played for the Falcons at the time, Chris Chandler and Doug Johnson. Doug Johnson was the Gators quarterback. So, God, that has been a long time. With Joe Bugle and John Gruden beating Coach June Jones and Dan Reeves. And the last four, obviously, the Falcons have won. The last four. By upwards of 25 points, 24 points. Then it got a little bit closer, 3 points. And I remember the last time we played them, it was only a touchdown. And that was out in Oakland last time. And I remember I think it was either the first or second game of the season. And it was hard. It was hard to watch that game, knowing that we should have. And again, the Falcons were coming off their Super Bowl victories at the time. And, so they were a great team at the time. They still have one or two of those guys that are on their team. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But I think the big news of what we were saying, and before we get to injuries, again, it's only Tuesday night, so we can't really get into everybody and their injuries. But I would like to say that the Raiders have taken, they've gone out and they're trying to help the team, because obviously – the offense is scoring very well, and we'll talk about those numbers in a bit. But they claimed Takaris McKinley, who's from Oakland, so he would be playing for his Raiders. They did sign him They did sign him to the practice squad, and they released Dayton Jones, who actually I thought it had been playing pretty good this year. He was released from the practice squad, and they did sign Vic Beasley as well. Again, they even have David Irving reverted back to the practice squad, but I think he's going to be there this weekend. I think he's probably going to go back to the active roster, David Irving. Jared Jones-Smith, who was that extra offensive lineman, Chris Smith, and Javen White went back to the practice squad. But I would say that obviously the officiating sucked last week, and that was in both ways. Hopefully we'll get a better crew this week. And actually, we will talk about that tomorrow on another program when I go on with Homer. God, I'm sorry, Asylum. See, you say I always forget you. I didn't forget you this time. Homer, Violator, myself, and Ref Guru will be on the Wednesday show at NFL Nation Live. Be sure to check it out on YouTube as well. But I want to talk about four people, and I want your opinions on this as well there, Joker.
What's that?
Denzel Good has been playing well, beyond well. Not for both Richie Incognito at guard. He's played well at right tackle when he was in there. And, you know, I think that we should give him an immediate, keep him. I think he's on a 1-year deal, maybe a 2-year deal, but I would extend him. He has definitely shown his worth. And also Brandon Parker, who earlier the last couple of years, he was auditioning as one of those swinging doors out in Hollywood, in the Wild West Saloon. That was Brandon Parker at any position you put him at. But Parker, who played for Miller the week prior, last week he played for Brown's been out forever, but he was actually playing for Sam Young because Sam Young just can't get on the field. What are your thoughts on Denzel Good and Brandon Parker?
Man, you know what? It's not just him; it's the whole offensive line as a whole. I mean, you look at the last game, no sacks. They didn't give up a sack. If you look at the whole season, I mean, there's the unsung hero is offensive line coaches and offensive line. Those are the MVPs of the team this year. We could talk a lot about Carr maturing in the Gruden system. The defense is, coming up with a bigger and better plays. They still got a lot of work to do on the defensive side, but the real true MVPs is everybody that's involved on that offensive line. I mean, there's been times when we had the third or fourth string on the field, and it was a thing where, we went into games not knowing if we were going to make it or not. So I think you're absolutely correct. I do think they both deserve to be extended. I think they both deserve to be rewarded. They filled some tough shoes. You have a guy that's supposed to be your all-world right tackle. Can't keep him healthy. Can't be on the field. You got your left guard, one of the best left guards in the game. Love him or hate him, Richie Incognito is a beast. I've had the pleasure to have a few conversations with Incognito. Actually, the hat you're wearing, Jack, is a hat that is given to Richie Incognito, and with the black hat and the silver and the black out, that hat is actually nicknamed the Incognito right there. So the thing is, though, these are big shoes to fill. These are Pro Bowlers. These are guys making the big bucks on the offensive line, and they're not on the field. And you got these kids just coming in week to week and just doing a fantastic job. If the game that they just came off with, if you look at Carr, as far as he's been sacked, I'm not sure. I think it's 13 times. I don't have the exact number off my head, but I know he's one of the least sacked quarterbacks in the league. He's also only thrown 3 interceptions all season, which is also among the leaders of throwing interceptions. This tells a lot about the protection that's around him more than anything else.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know that Mahomes has only thrown 2 interceptions this year, and both of them were to the Raiders. Well, right. One to Jeff Heath in Kansas City, and then the other one to Trayvon Mullen. And Carr only has 3, and 2 of them were to Kansas City, I think Sorensen each time, if I'm not mistaken, I can get on that. I can't remember who his other interception was, but Carr's been playing well, and again, it's because of that offensive line. But I'm going to do a spotlight away for two guys on the defense. Jeff Heath, who was the defensive player of the week for his game last week, not the Chiefs game, but the week before that. And then Nick Morrow, who's come in and played a hell of a good linebacker positioning, picking up for Corey Littleton the last several weeks, and he's played well as well. In fact, Morrow's one of those people with interceptions for the Raiders against the Saints that I remember back as well. So again, these guys are showing that, and again, these are the backups. These are the guys that are getting a lot of time in because of either injury or scheme. And they're playing some great things as well. Again, Joker, your thoughts?
No, yeah, exactly. There's, like I said, there's been a vast improvement. So what you want from your own players is when they go from year to year, do you want to see them moving forward? Do you want to know that they're actually, doing something as far as, hold on one second. I got a visitor here. So.
Oh, okay. Hi. Hi, doggy.
So the thing is, with those, you want to see your young players advance. You want to see your young players do something as far as productive from year to year. You want to see growth. And I think you hit the nail on the head. They're growing.
Is that a Rottweiler?
It is. It's Caesar. This is Caesar.
I love Rotties. They're awesome dogs. Hi, Caesar. Hi, Caesar. Ooh. If I hear some sounds, I know that I got to pick them. But
hey, give me 1 second, Jack. I'm going to let him out. I think he wants to go out. So
okay. You do that. You do that. Right back. All right. I'm going to get to a couple of the different things here as well. We're gonna talk about Atlanta as well and the Raiders. Okay. Going back to these things, and again, we need to figure out how our injuries stand. But I think that we should be good to go. Again, it's Tuesday. The injury report. I mean, they haven't even done with the practices. They just started this week. And again, being Thanksgiving, that'll be like a short practice as well on Thursday. The Raiders are looking to start a new win streak. But again, this is a positive thing for the Raiders. The Raiders are 4-1 away in all their games this year. And actually, the Falcons, they're 1-4 at home. So it's also a dichotomy. Raiders have won 4 on the road, and the Falcons have only won 1 in their own house, 1-4. The Raiders are averaging 28.6 points per game, but they're giving up 27.6. That's a little, that's getting better because it used to be over 30. Raiders with the 14th ranked total offense at 369 yards per game and the 23rd ranked total defense at 385. Not bad considering it used to be in like the 30, 31, things like that. So we're getting to 23rd. I always said that if the Raiders have an average defense, if they're in even the middle ground, anywhere from 11 to 20, you get in there, and this is a perennial playoff team, and we're almost there. We got to get a couple things squared away. Now the Falcons. I tell you, this is trap game number 1 for the Raiders. And the reason why I say that is, and you alluded to it earlier as well, Joker, the Raiders were 6-4 going into New York last year. And I remember that game because I was cold and miserable and I was pissed off at them. But this is trap game 1 because not only do they have the Falcons away this week, but they have the Jets in trap game 2 next week as well. They can't take these guys lightly. The Falcons, they're a very good scoring team. Obviously, 9th in total offense, 382 yards per game, but they're 29th in defense. And that is why the Raiders offense needs to score. They need to just put it out of the way because the Falcons can score. We need to make sure that we take advantage of that horrific Atlanta defense. And again, Coach Raheem Morris, otherwise known as Coach Raw, the gentleman that when he was here in Tampa gave the exquisite little drop line, stats are for losers. Well, yeah, stats are for losers, Raw, especially if your stats indicate that your team sucks. So hopefully we'll be able to play off that. Quick things on this. Obviously, it's not just Carr versus Matt Ryan, but Matt Ryan has thrown for almost 3,000 yards already. Okay. Obviously, the rushing attack with Todd Gurley, who is not the back that he used to be. And then they have Julio Jones, who is usually playing with a bad wheel. And hopefully, not that I should say hopefully, but is very likely not to be at 100% this week as well. But Calvin Ridley, that kid out of Alabama, or let me see. One of the Ridleys was out of Alabama. And the other one was from Georgia. No, he was the kid from Georgia. Yeah. So Ridley, the Ridley they had was from Georgia, and then his brother was at Alabama. But Ridley is a fantastic receiver, so don't go to sleep on him. I'd rather see a double on Calvin Ridley and then a one-on-one on Julio if he has his bad wheel. But that's the other thing. The offensive line was a sieve last week against the Saints. So if you rush. Matty Ice Ryan, good things can happen. And, I want to go from Matt to Matt. We've already talked about Matt Ryan. I want to see Matt Schaub. Matt Schaub is the backup quarterback for the Falcons, and I want to see him. And again, it's amazing that they're having offensive line problems because they have a decent offensive line. Jake Matthews, Alex Mack, who is a perennial Pro Bowler up in Cleveland, plays center for them. And so, we need to rush and we need to do a lot of things there as well. And then even on that defense, one of their better defenders is a rookie in AJ Terrell. And they just got him in the draft this year. And then a person that I'm very familiar with, Keanu Neal, who played at Florida. Neal is about the only person I can remember that was on that fantastic Falcon defense that was in the Super Bowl a couple years ago. And they had some really good defenders on that team. But this team is a lot different from the team that went to the Super Bowl last time. Obviously, changes in the head coaching because they finally got rid of the guy that just couldn't keep leads. The Falcons gave the game away to Dallas. Remember how sucky Dallas is, and they gave that game away. The Falcons are a team that we shouldn't take lightly, but I do agree that we should win. Your thoughts on the game there, Joker?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I would be disappointed if we don't put up 35 plus points. As far as Julio Jones, he didn't look too good last week when he was on the bench. He was, they were trying to work out his left knee. He's having issues with that. It was either his knee or his quad, that area. But hopefully he doesn't play. I like him as a receiver. I think he's a great talent, but I just don't want him on the field when we're playing. Either way, I think even if he does play, he probably won't be nothing but more than maybe a decoy or short yardage. But they have enough weapons on offense to make it happen. I think that Autumn Abyss is correct. And I think that our defense needs to show out. And that is correct. The Saints sacked him 8 times this past week. 8 times. There's no reason why we can't get to him and rattle him. He's shown the fact that he's not exactly the same Matty Ice that he was in his earlier years. He is getting rattled. He's not handling the pressure like he did. They're giving up a ton of points. So I would be disappointed if we don't put up 35 on them and win this game rather handedly.
Okay, actually, I was on record and I did the I think that I put in my because you'll hear about it as well on Thursday. I believe on Thursday it'll come out on the Fan Media Network. Be sure to join. Again, this is our crew. Myself, Violator, Homer, and with the Fan Media Network, you're going to hear from Ken Thompson from SportsX Radio and KDON Radio in Vegas. We do a show after every game for the Raiders, and then we do a pre-show for the game upcoming. I've already figured out what I wanted to say for that, and I remember, and it was maybe it was Kismet. that I was thinking 41 points. And I looked at when I was doing the research today, I saw that one of the games that we won against the Falcons was like a 41-17 laugher. And I had 41 in my mind, and I'm thinking, the defense is going to get at least one defensive touchdown this week. One defensive touchdown this week, 2 field goals, 4 offensive touchdowns, and hopefully more running with Jacobs and Booker, some over the top. And I don't care who it's to. I don't care if it's to Agholor. I don't care if it's to Edwards with the long reach. Ruggs needs to show up as well. But I think maybe Ruggs and Edwards, who are rookies, they might have hit the wall. But they need to do more. Okay, Hollywood is saying 30-17 Raiders. I'm thinking 41. I'm thinking that this is going to be a decimation, only because I think our offense is so much better than that defense. And I think that if we can knock out Matty Ice, I'd rather see Matty Schaub. And Matty Schaub is a statue as well. So you go from one of the Greek statues to maybe a Philippine statue, with the little, I'm just thinking, in the Philippine versions. And I want to see more to Renfrow there, Keegan. Again, you gave your prognostications. I'm thinking Raiders in a laugher, but again, don't look past this game, because any team that is disrespected will be a hard out. I remember the first game that we won against when we were 0-10, and we came up and we beat Kansas City and Oakland on that Thursday night, okay? And we were horrible. And the Falcons are horrible. The Jets next week are horrible. But don't overlook these games, guys, because I want to be 8-4 when we come back and do this again in 2 weeks. Any last words there, Joker?
Yeah, I agree with you. My thing is we can't overlook these 2 next games. These are the games. This is the difference that's going to really tell us if we've actually taken the next step as an organization or not, is the fact that we win the games that we're supposed to win. Not just hang in a division rival. Yeah, it's easy to get up for the division rival. We need to win now. If we don't win the games that we're supposed to win, we haven't accomplished anything. We haven't achieved anything as an organization. And in fact, because of the talent that we have, the talent that we've acquired both in the draft and free agency, we're actually going backwards. And I think that's the reality of it. I think the biggest issue with the Raiders organization is that we play down to our competition and don't win the games that we're supposed to win. It's easy to get jacked up and play for against the Chiefs, a division rival. It's easy to play that tight game against the Chargers and out battle the Chargers because of the division rival. It's easy to beat the hell out of a crippled Denver Bronco team the way you're supposed to because it's a division rival. But against the Falcons and the Jets, we need to go after these teams and we need to make a statement by beating the hell out of them.
Agreed. And again, folks, one final word as well, and thank you for being here again. This will be every Tuesday. We will have the Broadside with myself, hopefully a special guest, because again, this way I don't have to talk for 60 minutes or so, and I get a chance to bounce things off of somebody, a respected person with football knowledge. I will say that it's enjoyable to talk to somebody that has great football knowledge. And I'll give it to you as well. Asylum is there. He said, I'm more worried about the Jets and the Falcons. One game at a time, though. One game at a time there. I don't know who the Jets play this week, but I honestly don't want to go into New York with the Jets being 0-11 and looking to kick our ass as well. But that's just me. Again, make sure you go to JR60. I believe if it's jr60brands.com or let me see what it was. Yeah, jr60brands.com. Make sure you're there. The logo is there on the bottom of the screen. It's the JR with the 60. and make sure that you are there. And I also have to say, again, a happy birthday to China. What a great way to get to do the birthday. She's here on the show, and Keegan wins her a $25 gift certificate, which is great. And obviously, we knew that the last time the Raiders beat Atlanta in Atlanta was when Jeff George did the victory lap. So that's the last time the Raiders did beat Atlanta in Atlanta. So that was correct.
That's right.
I tell you, one final thing again, if you use Super Chat or Super Stickers, every time you give a $4.99, I'll say $5 because it's easier to say, rolls off the tongue. $5, which includes $4.99. Every time you give a Super Chat or Super Sticker plug is a way to saying thank you. And it would be a great way to say thank you to the guests that we have on here as well. Thank you for the one and only Joker Raider. Again, anytime you drop $5, you are going to be entered into a contest for Raider items. And it'll be good stuff. Trust me, I got so much stuff over here. It's kind of like an extra what do you call it? Like a Raider image. I need to get more JR60 stuff too. So make sure I got my those wonderful pins. I love and I love the Vegas pins too. I got to get some more of those. But again, go to JR60 Brands, get the pins, get all the good stuff. Getting the hats are awesome. Because I'm a hat freak. You guys know I'm a hat freak. So there you go. Folks, unless there's anything else, I want to thank Joker Raider again. JR60brands.com. Go there. And thank you for any of the tips that you give. Again, you'll get yourself into a raffle, a Raz, however we're going to do for Raider items. Make sure you tell your friends they want to win Raider stuff. They got to watch the show live because they can't do that when we're not live, but we'll figure it out. Thanks again. Joker, you got the last word out.
Hey, I just want to say thank you to everybody. Much love, Raider Nation. Let's get this win this weekend, and let's keep moving forward. We will make the playoffs. We will be, let's see, I'm going with 10-6 at the worst, 11-5. And we're going to host a wild card playoff game.
I said 10-6 at the beginning of the season. 12-4 is doable, but I think we're going to be 11-5. I think that there's going to be one more loss that we're not looking at right now. We could win out, but I think that we're going to be 11-5, and I'm letting that vibe out, but I'm not saying it's official yet until I see some more wins. I want to see some more wins for the next 2 weeks. Again, thanks again to you folks out there. This has been Firing a Broadside with Captain Jack and Joker Raider. Thanks again. There you go. One Nation. Make sure you go up on that brand. We'll see y'all next Tuesday. By the way, folks, it's on Thursday. I ain't doing a show on Thursday. I think there's a holiday where I'm going to be very, very stuffed. So sorry, guys. No show on Thursday. So there you go. Thanks again, folks. We'll see you next time. Oh, there we go.